Tea time. Did you hear the story about the woman who was working at a call center and it depressed her so much she just quit? She couldn't take it anymore. But the fact that she quit led her to be unemployed for 3 whole months. Now she got a small child, she got bills to pay, so she had to hurry up and find another job. She finally found another job at a bank as the bank teller, and she was happy about that. But those 3 months that she spent unemployed, those bills was catching up to her, and next thing you know, she started getting eviction notices. Now she was too prideful to go and ask her parents, so she went to one of her guy friends and was like, I don't know what to do. I got eviction notices coming up. This job is not paying me fast enough. I don't know how I'm gonna handle it. And her friend was like, well, you work at a bank. Why don't you just, pull a lick? She was like, boy, if you don't stop, that's so stupid. Like, you dumb. But anyway, after time started going on a little bit and the bills was really getting hard, she was feeling the pressure, she decided maybe we should try it. So she and him got together and they came up with all these different kind of plans. Maybe you could try it like this. Maybe you could try it like that. But as the bank teller, she was the one who was counting up the money and packaging it up so that people who came to get big drops to get big packages could take it out to their stores. Like she was supplying stores with the money for their registers. So they would come picking up $70,000, $100,000 at a time, and she was the one counting it out for them. Well, one day after they had tried different licks and it didn't work out, she called her friend up and she said, you ready for the day? And he said, I'm ready. And she said, all right, I'm going to text you when you need to be here. The plan was in motion. So she had a customer scheduled to come pick up $110,000 from her. She was counting out the money. She said she even took pictures thinking, hey, this is going to be my money. I'm excited. She ready, She packaged it up. The customer came to the window. She gave the customer the money. They drove off. And her friend went and ambushed them to take the money and rob the man of the money. But the man was armed who came and he pulled out a gun. He was shooting at the friend shooting back. The friend still got the money and took off. Of course, all this commotion is going on. The police is called and everybody's trying to do this big investigation, like what happened. And everybody's thinking that maybe it was an inside job, but they're not thinking that it was her. They're thinking it's one of the bank managers or something like that. So she go back to work the next day, just regular, no big deal. She hasn't heard from her guy friend yet who actually took the money. So, but she's waiting. She's like, let's let things cool down. After about 3 days, he calls her and he's like, hey, meet me in Atlanta. And she's like, okay. So she go gas up her car, drive all the way to Atlanta, which was out of town, and they meet up. And she said he pulled up with a brand new Mercedes Benz. And she was looking like, wait a minute, it's $110,000 now. How about he reaches in his pocket and hands her $3,000 saying, some things came up. But she said by this time, she was just happy to have some money. And she just let it go, took her $3,000, went home and was like, I'm fine, let me pay these bills. So she goes back to work, happy-go-lucky. Nobody suspects she's doing anything. And after some months go by and nobody's coming to her door, she's like, wait a minute, I got away with it? So she started getting excited and she started wanting to do it again. She was like, if I can get away with it, why don't I try to get some more money out of them? Eventually, she got fired, but she said it was not related to that at all. Her drawer came up short, and she just felt like it was karma for that bank heist that she pulled and got away with it. So she ended up getting another job at another bank. And this time, she was running numbers and doing like data transactions and things like that. So she learned how to do Bitcoin scams and how to transfer money and how to get her manager to sign off on it so it won't be any record. And she said she was feeling invincible. She was buying anything she wanted. She was having a grand and great time. 1.5 years goes by without ever being caught. And one day she decided, I'm not going to go to work. She's at home chilling at her house and all of a sudden, boom, 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 it's a knock at the door. And she opens the door and it's the police. And they're like, is this so-and-so? And she's like, yeah, this me. And she's like, well, you're under arrest. Do you know so-and-so? And she was like, no, I don't know him. And they were like, yes, you do. We know all about it. And she started crying. She said they put her in handcuffs, take her down to the station to question her. And she said she didn't realize at the time, but they was lying to her and tricking her, telling her, if you just tell us what happened, then you can go pick up your son and you can go on straight home. It won't be no problem. Just tell us what happened. So she said, I started telling them all the details. So much details with the police officer was like, ma'am, you don't need to tell us about all the crimes you ever committed. Just this one crime. That's it. We just need you to tell us details. And she was like, no, but with this and with that and with that. And it was getting late and she needed to pick up her son. So the police officer was like, well, we can call somebody for you. And she was like, but I don't have the number. And they was like, well, give us the password to your phone. She gave up the password to her phone. They called her relative and told the relative, and she told the relative, hey, pick up my son for me, but she couldn't tell them why. And they hung up the phone. But now that her phone is open, the police officers went through the phone. That's when she got all her charges, because they started seeing all the evidence of all the crimes that she committed in the past. And she was crying because people was telling her, you're not about to get out of here. You being arrested for armed robbery. The whole time, everybody was treating her like she's so sweet, she's so nice, she's so innocent, and she's no danger, no problem. So they were giving her like the least amount of punishment, the least amount of sentences, the least amount of aggression. Everybody was treating her so sweet because she looked so nice and innocent. And she did end up serving her time. She was sentenced to about 12 years, but she only ended up serving less than 3. And one of those years was on house arrest, sitting at home. And she still think about all those licks she pulled. But she said, you know what? Don't follow me. I'm a criminal, but I ain't good at it.